Hello there, Michelle Gibson, Realtor with Keller Williams.
And Christine Faulkner, estate planning attorney with Faulkner here in Elk Grove. We've been having some tough technical difficulties, so this is going to be interesting. So Michelle, tell us about what's happening in the market. I hear prices are rising and people are getting multiple offers.
Yeah, definitely. Real estate is still booming despite the crazy times we're going through. And, when people think about selling or even buying, the first thing that comes to mind is price. How much is it? How much are we going to sell for? And pricing your home right is absolutely crucial. So today we're going to talk about that. And on this channel, we've discussed a lot of misconceptions or maybe kind of setting the right stage of how things actually work in our industries. And so one of them is setting price. And an example that we can all relate with is at one time or another in our lives, we sold a car, placed an ad in the paper or online, and we determined that that car, based on Blue Book or what have you, is worth $10,000. So we think, okay, well, I want to get 10,000. I'm going to place an ad for 12,000 because we know they're going to negotiate and come down, and I hope to get 10,000. And that's typically what people think and think that's how you sell your home. But that is not the case at all. In fact, it's all about the numbers and it's all about facts. And so it really starts with customizing a market analysis for the individual's home and property. And I truly pride myself on being transparent and truthful and showing exactly what these numbers are and helping my clients determine and decipher what the trends and everything that comes in place of determining price. And so if you're watching this and you're considering selling or even just knowing what your property is worth, get in touch with me and we can sit down and go over that. And so what those numbers are, that data, it starts with historical data. And we look at comparable properties similar to yours that have sold recently in your neighborhood. And so we look at what those prices are and what those numbers and how fast did they sell, how many days were they on the market. And we analyze each and every little aspect of those sales. We also look at active properties in that neighborhood, because I like to call this like your direct competition. So if your home is sitting on this corner priced at $425 and this home around the corner very similar is priced at $400, and we sit down and we look at it as a buyer, if I put on my buyer hat, I'm going to sit and compare our house to that house. What does this one have that this one doesn't? And why is it so much more? So we want to look at our competition. That's incredibly crucial. And we also want to look at, what are buyer trends? Is understanding what is a buyer looking for? And so we sit down and look at that as well. And I'll help you with staging techniques, looking at maybe some upgrades that need to be done, and maybe perhaps there's nothing at all. However, you have to consider the condition, because two things sell a home. One is price and two is condition. And this is imperative when you're pricing the home as well, especially when you're comparing a home that's sold for a certain price and yours. It's a lot based on condition as well. So it's very important to price a home correctly right out of the gates. As the home sits on the market, it loses momentum. And especially being in the digital world that we are now, once that hits those search engine platforms, it comes to the top of the buyer's feed, you need to grab their attention. It needs to be priced right. If it's priced wrong, it's going to sit and it's going to fall to the bottom of the list. And eventually you're going to have to do a price reduction. And then a buyer is going to look at the property and say, well, there must be something wrong with it. And then they're going to offer you even less. So you're better to price it right out of the gates, the right price, and you're actually probably going to get more out of it than if you do the other way. And so, lastly, price is really just the beginning in selling your home. It also entails of my innovative digital marketing strategy to ensure that we capture the buyer's interest to look at your property and make sure that they take action in writing an offer. And so when we sit down, Christine, and look at these market analysis reports, it's going to be a case-by-case scenario, different homes in different neighborhoods. But I just wanted to kind of give you an overall gist of how we determine pricing and some of the misconceptions about thinking you have to go high to meet here, when that's really just not the case, especially in the market we're in now.
That's great information. Good for buyers and sellers both alike to know. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah. You're welcome. See you next week.